Change has come. It's at the door. Everything that was true isn't true anymore. In our hands is a broken crown, and the wars that we lose mean freedom now. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Let's dance into battle, start a revolution, turn the heartbreak into evolution. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, from the ashes. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Keep marching on. 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 Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again.
The plan for living life, playing the game of life. Rules to the game of life. You will receive a body. You will learn lessons. There are no mistakes, only lessons. A lesson will be repeated until it is learned. Learning lessons does not end. There is no better than here. Others are merely mirrors of you. What you make of your life is up to you. Life is exactly what you think it is. Your answers lie inside you. You will forget all of this. You can remember it whenever you want. Mastering ourselves, being our best selves. My power, my control. Mind, body, soul, which is thoughts, wills, the things you say, and emotions. Principles: learn, grow, teach, help. Foundation: love, health, wealth, happiness. Rules: respectful, safe, responsible. Being a champion, one day at a time. Having accountability, accept responsibility for actions and performance. Culture, living our values, mastering ourselves, body, mind, soul. Excellence, being our best selves by efficiency and productivity. Leveling up in life, showing up for yourself, focus on yourself, core values, decisions, goals, and behavior. Live by, no excuses, take ownership, empower yourself to do better and be more for you. Many are here to help us be the best version of ourselves through learning and development. 2, I'm willing to do the work and you are willing to do the work. The first step to empowering you is creating a structure that helps you eliminate excuses through clarity of responsibility and process. Being a champion to create winning is by having a desire to be the best version of yourself and empowering you to do so daily. Having a better world that is a champion world is that it takes all of us. Everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, which is inside of us all and all around us. What is your energy? Low vibration or high vibration? Low vibration. Empathy, victim, helplessness, blame, negative self-talk, worry, hatred, anger, fear. High vibration. Hopefulness, courage, acceptance, happiness, self-love, gratitude, positive self-talk, trust, knowledge, abundance, forgiveness, unconditional love. Mastering ourselves. Lust, intense desire or craving, greed, excessive selfish desire. Gluttony, excessive consumption. Pride, excessive self-importance. Sloth, laziness, empathy. Envy, desiring what someone else has. Wrath, extreme anger. The unseen laws, spiritual laws you must respect. Core unseen laws. Law of reciprocity, which what you send out, energy, thoughts, actions, returns amplified. Law of authority. Spirits only respect those who know who they are. If you're confused, they dominate. Law of resonance. You attract what matches your vibration. Purity equals clear outcomes. Law of timing. Some doors open only in divine timing. Forcing it equals punishment or delay. Law of spiritual debt. Every lie, scam, or shortcut leaves a karmic invoice until it's paid by pain or repentance. It blocks flow. Law of access. Sharing sacred things with unworthy people gives dark forces access to you. Guard your spiritual intimacy. Law of sacred exchange. Don't ask for something from spirit world without giving something. Prayers, food, fire, service, truth. Law of hidden eyes. Even when no one is watching, you are seen. All thoughts and deeds echo in the spirit realms. Everyone will get exactly what they choose. 3D earth. Fear, division, anger, control, hate, AI. 5D earth. Love, unity, peace, freedom, healing, consciousness. This is the great awakening. Though you may hold your sword in a shaky hand, I see the demons you are slaying. Carry on, warrior. You are stronger than you realize. Welcome, I'm Alisha Quinn, and today we are going to talk about awakening. Going through an awakening journey is not easy on anyone, on yourself, on the people around you, and that's the truth. But, I'm here for a change, and I'm part of the change. I am the change. I am her. And we had to wake up. We had to wake up to our own energies and to reality. And that's the truth. And really going down that journey of having your reality stirred up a little bit, that everything that you thought was true wasn't true, right? It's really a challenging journey. And when you try to talk to the people around you and they just don't see it, sometimes they think that you're nuts, believing all of a sudden that the earth is flat instead of a globe. Whew, you know? And so my awakening journey, which is what I'm going to talk about this time, because I'm going to end up doing, my next one is going to be for awakening and reality. And so, but, waking up with the whole shutdown in 2020, that, there was just something in me that was just like, there's just something not right here. It's like that intuitive, feeling of something, like something's not right here. And I started, doing this research, what's going to happen after COVID and stuff, right? And that's when I come across, all these conspiracy theories, the world being ran by Satanists, um, all these people involved in, satanic rituals and, these signs and symbols that are done in our faces through Hollywood and politicians and things, right? And just continuing down that journey and that rabbit hole of sex trafficking and, children being missing for satanic rituals and people drinking the blood of children. It's a very dark path going down that road that, everything that you thought and you believed is just lies. And then being involved in the church and religion, where it's like, well, they are under the government system, that everything is controlled by government and religion and things, right? All these wars that have been going on and happening, biological experiments being done to depopulate humanity. And that list just goes on and on. It's very dark, cloning, nothing's real. The birds, they're not real. We're being watched. And then there's the whole, thing with the flat earth and the globe thing. Something you grew up believing your whole life. And now it's like, this isn't true. What I have been believing is a lie. But then it's even more than that. Because at the same time, for me, I was going through this thing in my home with a lot of fighting and division and control right in my own home. And, there was the religion thing that was just like, trapped in, I'm trying to figure that out, like how do I get out of this? And even caring about what other people thought and stuff, not even being free to speak my truth and my opinions or what I was, seeing and stuff. There was just this like control with it that, this is the way and this is how we have to do things. And truly getting away from that marriage and the church was a big move. It was a huge move, but I did end up in a place where they were under traps too, and they don't see things either. And so it's a very lonely road and it's a very dark road going down that journey. And you can truly, truly come to see why people just don't go down that road. And I will say that sometimes people don't have to go down such a dark road, right? But when you really come up with energy, right? And that what's within us comes out, right? And you come to see all the fears that you hold within you and things, right? That was a journey that I had to go down, that Satan rules this world, right? That's what we're taught through the church system. Satan rules this world. And so then you come to see the Satanist stuff, right? All this dark stuff that is truly against humanity. And how is it that we come out of that? How is it that we come out of it? How do we change it? What can I do to change it? And that was a big question. What can I do? What is my part in it? How can we change this? And really coming, even like the Agenda 21, and I see how everything, like this whole antichrist system thing, right? Which I partly got involved in the church and religion because of that thing. I was aware of it. I was. And so it is very interesting going down that road and that, we're being watched and all these things, right? Government's watching us and coming to this just makes you even paranoid, right? Everything is against us. The phone, everything's not good for us. The food, water, all these things that are just against us and not for us. And truly coming to wake up to all of that. It's very dark. And how do I play a role in all this? And what can I do? And so it is truly not the easiest road to go down when people don't even see it either. You can't really talk to a lot of people. They're just kind of like, oh, well, I've seen some of that, but no, I don't believe Joe Biden's a pedophile. No. Like, you didn't see the pictures of him sniffing little kids? Um, and so it is very interesting when you go down this journey and come to see all this darkness. And how did we not see it? How do we change things? Truly, how do we change it? And what about our children? You know, depopulation. And how are we going to survive in this world? How are we going to change things and get to that new world and new earth and that heaven on earth? You know, it does definitely take you through a journey of asking a lot of questions, right? About the world that I thought I lived in, but I didn't know what was truly going on. There's that, you know, finding that 9/11 wasn't done by our government or by the Muslims. It was done by our government. You know, this is just, you know, when you come to everything that you believed in and thought was true is a lie, you know, that we didn't win World War II, that the moon landing is a hoax, and on and on. It's a very dark journey to go down. And going down that road alone with no one to really talk to, it's, you know, definitely not the easiest journey to go down. That's for sure. And so if you are here, if you are going through it, if you're just trying to find a way, whatever way that is, I commend you for doing it because it isn't easy. And I know that everybody's journey is not the same. And not everybody goes down such a dark road that I went down, and I've become aware of that. But we're all on this journey and we're all going through it, whether we're aware of it or not. We are a part of something bigger than ourselves. And I'll talk a little bit more about, you know, the next part on the next one I do. But just coming to that point of everything really being against you, you know, how are we going to make it? How are we going to get to that place of thriving when everything is against us? You know, everything's poisoned and on and on. Everything's bad for us. It just truly is a very interesting journey to go down. And so we're going to go ahead and share a few videos and talk about those and some pictures and finish up.
Nope, I don't agree. Let's cut through all the BS and be so for real for a minute. A friend of mine was live last night, and I was in his comment section, and I asked him a question. I said, do you think that the content that we make and the things that we bring to light are actually making a difference? And he said no. He said we're too outnumbered and there's too many people out there that just don't want to see the truth. And I've been thinking about that since he said it, and I got something to say. Since I was born, I've lived in 21 different states. From my freshman to senior year, I went to 5 different high schools in 4 different states. Born in Connecticut, Agawam, Massachusetts, Bakersfield, California, Austin, Texas, Washington, Missouri. I have a tattoo on my forearm from the second time I moved back to the East Coast from the West Coast. I lived my entire life growing up as the new kid. I was constantly meeting new people, trying to figure out how to fit in. People from different backgrounds, nationalities, from every walk of life. People talk different from place to place. They acted different, used different words, different traditions, different morals. And as you can imagine, I spent a lot of time reading people and trying to figure out how to fit in and do it as fast as I possibly could, because before long, I was on to the next place. And I wasn't exactly the greatest kid either. As you can imagine, there's a lot of rebellion there. So I got in a lot of trouble. I lived the whole evil side of things. I did B&Es. I did a lot of things that I wasn't proud of. But in doing so, I met people that you could be in the presence of and knew they were pure evil. In school, I excelled at learning, but the ADHD was kicking, so I picked up writing my name as a way to balance the two. Teachers didn't like that, and I didn't like that they didn't like that. So my graffiti career started. And you remember the old saying, nothing good ever happens after midnight? Creeping through the streets in the middle of the night at a young age trying to find places to paint, I ran into some people that I'll never forget. Ladies that were working, watching us paint, meeting homeless people that looked so bad that you could swear you were the last person they were ever gonna talk to. And just some of the things that you can witness in the middle of the night boggle your mind. And now as an adult, I've been a construction worker for 15 years. So you can only imagine the people that I've interacted with. So with everything that I've been through, the one lesson that I learned that has lasted me my whole entire life is it's about respect. I've had more people that I've ran into that embraced me, took me in, and actually cared about me, while at the same time not knowing me for shit. And it has to do with how you treat people. See, this whole awakening journey is about self-reflection. There are far more people out there that are like us than there isn't. But it's about figuring out how to communicate. See, in my life, it didn't matter who I ran into, what they were, what nationality they were, what color they were, none of that. Every time I came as my genuine self and showed them the respect that I wanted, that's exactly what I got in return. So if I could preach anything coming into this new year, it's look into yourself. Look at your flaws, your triggers, and how to deal with them. Because once you do that, you start to understand why certain people act the way they do and how to deal with them. And there's another beautiful thing that happens with self-reflection. You start to cherish life and be more grateful for the things you have. But my point is, if you're awake, then you already won. You're no longer living the lie. And when you understand that's more of a blessing than a curse, then it starts to be something you're proud of instead of ashamed. And you start to see that there's a little bit of you in every person that's still asleep. And because you already did the work, you see how to handle it. So to all my truth seekers out there, don't give up. I know you're tired, and this is probably the hardest battle any of us have been through. But we are far from being on the losing end of this thing. So keep talking that talk. I love you. Stay safe.
Well, I thought that what he had to say was very good and inspirational for sure. You know, we're losing this battle and everything's against us kind of thing. And that's the thing of coming to the power of our thoughts and our words, and we are winning and things are changing, and I see it within my own reality. And, he talked about, trying to fit in, right? And that's the thing is, looking outside of ourselves, really, of trying to fit in somewhere. And maybe we weren't meant to fit into that world, but truly the differences that people have. And I've really come to find that we should embrace each other's differences because there's so much that we can learn in this world. I mean, it's truly amazing all the things that we can choose to do and choose to learn about, choose to create. And, sometimes you do end up in the presence of some really evil, wicked people, right? But, I really liked what he had to say about respect, right? And respecting ourselves, respecting others. And that when you give that treatment to others, that they're going to self-reflect and give it back to you. And even I myself have been in certain situations with people that people do want to help you. They do, even if they don't have much, or they just have a lot of those dark energies within them, a fear, the guilt, the shame, all these things that they will help you and give whatever you can. And I have truly come to see that within humanity, and that respect is returned, and truly coming to see my own flaws and my own triggers of things, because it really is about self-reflection. That truly is part of the awakening journey, is not about what's going on out here, but what about is going on in here. And that's ultimately what it is about, because this out here is just what's in here out. And that it is a blessing being awake, and you truly do find that strength within you, a strength that you may have not even known that you had while going on this journey. So taking one day at a time and working on that inner person, because this out here changes. I've seen it, and it's one of those things, when you see it, you can't unsee it. So we're going to go ahead and look at another video.
Being awake is exhausting, eh? It's not all fun and games. It's not all namaste, and it's not all high vibes and high times. It's actually really dark, because what happens is you realize that you've been taught a lie, not just by, the matrix, but by society, by parents, by teachers, everybody. And they gave you a roadmap that you thought you had figured out, right? You finish school, you go to school, you get a career, you get married, you have kids, and then everything is fine. No one really tells you the details of the hardships in life, but at least there was a roadmap, right? But the issue with waking up is you realize all of that was a lie, and so now you don't have a roadmap. No one does, right? And that feeling of being lost and not knowing what's going on, especially when you realize, hey, what's the point of all of this? Especially when you really awaken in your soul and you start realizing the materialistic things don't make you happy anymore. Going out and partying and distracting yourself from your feelings isn't fun anymore. And now you realize that, what are you going to do? Well, let me tell you, I've been there so many times, because there's so many layers of this awakening BS that even sometimes I get tired of it. But here's the cool part. This is how I kind of see life. We're basically put in this game all together, right? Like someone just dropped us off in the middle of a forest or a jungle and just told you to walk. No map, no compass, no nothing. And sometimes as you walk, you're going to get into a beautiful valley with a river. That's amazing. And you get to see like baby deer and animals, and everything looks really cute. At other times, you'll get to a top of a mountain and it's snowing and you don't have the right equipment and you have to endure the worst storm of your life. But the thing is, no storms last forever. And unfortunately, life is a mess. Life is lost. Life is all about learning, and life is all about a journey. And so one thing I do find really, I guess, helping is don't be so hard on yourself, okay? We're all lost, all of us. Like, none of us have figured it out. And I know some people will say they have. And I understand some people will also tell me, that they have figured it out through religion. And that's great. That's good for you. And some of us have, and some of us haven't. And some of us are in completely different journeys. And some of us are still searching, you know what I mean? Everyone's on a different level. But I think I see that everyone's exhausted, you know what I mean? And so instead of going on more of the darker political things, I say let's do research, cool things out there, things that we can find, new ideas, keep the morale up, because we're all in this together, you guys, okay? We're all in one giant big boat. I know some of us have bigger boats than others. Some of us are just on floaties. And some of us have just kind of given up and we're just chilling on a rock. But at the end of the day, life is life. We've all been put here, you know what I mean? So let's just have fun with it. Don't take yourself so seriously. Don't take life too seriously. You know what I mean? It's not forever. It's very short. And so all you got to do is just kind of look forward to the next day and the day after that, and maybe take it slowly, one step at a time. But at the end of the day, it is a journey, and we're all on it, on the same journey.
Well, she had some very interesting information and perspective for sure. And she's right, about the roadmap, that we were kind of given this little American dream or little roadmap to life, but, truly coming that's not working for me. So, and just, I think a lot of it does have to do with our perspectives, right? And that there are many layers of this awakening journey, and that we're not all at the same level. And that's okay, because we all play our part in this bigger picture. And it is a game, right? And once take it like that, learning, knowing that you're just on this soul journey and not being so hard on yourself. I thought that was a very good wisdom. And sometimes I have to tell myself that, like, don't be so hard on yourself and don't take it so serious. And, don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. And, it truly does come down to searching to find those answers for yourself, for your journey. And one of the conclusions that I've truly come up with is that I only have the answers for Alisha and Alisha's journey, for however much I have it for now, because the divine, the spirit, God, isn't going to overwhelm me with the whole thing, Well, how do I get way over there when I'm here, and whatever, right? And so I just have this small, okay, and taking today and taking a short time of my direction that I'm going, right? And that I don't need to see the whole big picture of the whole journey of it, just go with the flow of it. And that everyone else has their own journey and their own experiences, and they have to search for the answers themselves. So I do not pretend to have the answers for everybody, because I don't. But giving the answers I have found for myself, for my journey, and whatever you can take from it, that it may not even be what I think it is that you gain from me. And that's truly what some of my experience and my journey has been, of looking at like the podcaster, right? It wasn't even the things he was talking about. There were just other things. I did this trauma healing because he had a beard, right? And even I found that I had that religious trigger from the Bible being mentioned. And he helped me by being out here And I healed from that, where I'm not triggered by people mentioning the Bible, men mentioning the Bible. I was very controlled and manipulated with it. And so it just, you just gain whatever you can gain from it. And that's the thing of, being out here and things is that, just take whatever you can get because you're just at your own level, right? And there's many levels. And so people are down here, I'm here, there's people up here, many levels, many categories, many territories, and really we have to search for the answers for ourselves, for our own journeys, our own experiences here. And that is definitely part of the awakening experience to, coming to realize that we do have the power to co-create our experiences. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at another video.
I can't be the only spiritual person who feels like this. I know I'm not alone, but how wild is it that there's this whole shift going on and there's these like ebbs and flows of energy, and one moment we're like on such a high and we're like, wow, everything is so possible, like this is so cool, and then the next moment we're just like on the floor completely sobbing, processing, integrating, healing, all of it, like so deep. And we're going through these cycles and these flows, and then we're like going out into the real world, and it's like not really talked about, like it's like a secret, but like the people that are in your life that know, like you'll talk to them about it, but then there's like other interactions that you're having, and like it's not a part of the conversation, but to you it's like so blatantly clear as to what's happening, and it's almost like this secret, but it's not a secret. It's just the most bizarre time to be a human of we're completely transforming the collective reality, but yet like that's not going to be talked about on the news, right? Or like it's not common knowledge, yet it's so pervasive, and there's those who know, and those are the people I want to be having a conversation with. I can't be the only spiritual person who feels like this. I know I'm not alone, but how wild is it that there's this whole shift going on and there's these like ebbs and flows of energy, and one moment we're like on such a high and we're like, wow, everything is so possible, like this is so cool, and then the next moment we're just like on the floor completely sobbing, processing, integrating, healing, all of it, like so deep. And we're going through these cycles and these flows, and then we're like going out into the real world, and it's like not really talked about, like it's like a secret, but like the people that are in your life that know, like you'll talk to them about it, but then there's like other interactions that you're having, and like it's not a part of the conversation, but to you it's like so blatantly clear as to what's happening, and it's almost like this secret, but it's not a secret. It's just the most bizarre time to be a human of we're completely transforming the collective reality, but yet like that's not going to be talked about on the news, right? Or like it's not common knowledge, yet it's so pervasive, and there's those who know, and those are the people I want to be having a conversation with.
Well, I think she shared some very interesting wisdom and insight, and truly it is like a roller coaster going on this journey where you do feel so great, and then all of a sudden you're going through something. And it is really this energetic shift that happens within us, as we raise our consciousness, our frequency, we start having, better thoughts of things that, our frequency and vibration changes within us. That water that's toxic that turns crystallized. It's a recalibration, a transforming, really, but it truly is a healing journey. And, our bodies store traumas and different things that we end up having to deal with and process. And so that is a part of the awakening journey, is healing from those things and truly, transforming as well, transforming the thoughts, transforming the things you're talking about. And, there's a lot to it, but, coming back to self, really, that self before the world made us into the people that we were, right? And so that is definitely part of the journey. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at a few pictures. You are gods asleep in human bodies. This causes struggle and great feelings of displacement. As the world awakens, it will be known to all that some of the humans on earth are far more than humans. Awakened souls open doors no one ever knew existed. Release the arrogance of wanting to wake up the other. You are not here to wake up others. You are here to wake up yourself. Woke versus awake. Woke. Based in fear, judgment, divisiveness, victim mindset, faith in government, promotes suffering, unevolved emotional reactions, says, I'm afraid, you should be afraid too. Sees a problem and focus on the problem. Awakened, based in love, grace, collaboration, self-dominion, faith in God, promotes forgiveness, mature emotional responses, says, I'm afraid and we should have hope. Sees a problem and focuses on a solution. We have been programmed to live in a fearful vibration. Why? Because a fearful person is obedient. Fear is a weapon that can be used to control the mind. A conscious person leans into their fear and discomfort. They question things, they challenge things, and don't blindly believe what they are told. As you awaken and walk this path, you will feel very isolated at times, but please know you are not alone. Nothing will be the same after this year. Mentally, physically, spiritually, energetically, you will be entering a new world, a new life, a new way, and a new path. You are awakening. Fortunately, some are born with spiritual immune systems that sooner or later give reaction to the illusionary worldview grafted upon them from birth through social conditioning. They begin sensing that something is amiss and start looking for answers. Inner knowledge and anomalous outer experiences show them a side of reality others are oblivious to. And so begins their journey of awakening. Each step of the journey is made by following the heart instead of following the crowd, and by choosing knowledge over the veils of ignorance. Well, those help me, and I received those to help me on my path and my journey. And, the thing is that some people will never be able to come to see it. That, be stepping out of that box, really, right? People are in this box, and you were in the box with them. And then you come to step out of the box. And when you step out of the box, people can't see what you see outside of the box because they're inside the box, right? And we just have to really come to even realize that people are not going to be on that level, and awakening them, right? That some just are not meant to awaken here. They're just here to play their part in this game and have their experience. And that's, truly what I have come down to in the end. And, that we're not alone. That came up, that we're not alone. And having the avenue of the internet and being able to just have this thing happening on the internet and things that we can get the help that we need, that when you let the divine spirit even guide you, you'll find that you ended up, looking at the right thing, that everything, there's a reason for it. And so, coming to that, asking the questions and not being afraid of what you found. Because when you start asking those questions, you'll be led to what you were meant to get. And so we're going to go ahead and ask a few questions. What is the true meaning of awakening? The act of waking from sleep, but more commonly refers to a new awareness, realization, or revival of interest, often spiritual, intellectual, or social, involving a profound shift in perception, understanding, or consciousness. What are the 7 stages of awakening? The beginning, awakening the energy rising, feeling the flow, cleansing and releasing, emotional purification, understanding and balancing, the integration stage, spiritual clarity, the illumination stage, living your truth, the embodiment stage. What is the main point of awakening? To find and live fully within your true self. What is the purpose of an awakening? Increased self-awareness, emotional healing, and a sense of purpose. What does being in 5D feel like? A profound shift from fear-based, separate 3D living to a state of unity, unconditional love, and interconnectedness. So, really my conclusion of awakening is that it is definitely a personal type journey, that nobody's going to have the same kind of awakening experience because we're not the same. We're all having a different experience. We all have different things that have happened. And so we have our own perception of things, our own journeys, our own experiences, our own things that we have to deal with. Not everyone has the same addictions that we have to deal with, right? And addictions come in many different ways and forms and all these things, but it is truly a personal journey and experience. And truly for me to come up to that level of awareness and that interconnection, right? That everyone is at their own level of things. And that not everyone is going to see things from your point of view because they haven't experienced what you have experienced. Nobody is going to see the same things. You could watch the same thing, but 2 people could take away 2 different things from it, right? And it just goes on and on. Nobody experiences the same thing. You got 2 people married. They're not experiencing the same life really together, right? Because they have their own perception, their own feelings about things, right? And they go, one sees one thing and, we're just not the same. And that's just how it is. It's our own personal experience, right? And that's what it really, comes down to for me is that it's not my children's experience, the things I've had to go through. And so the thing is they've had their own experiences, their own journeys, they have their own perception of things. And the thing is that we can't make anyone wake up to it. We can't make people wake up to their own energies and things, become self-aware. And so really coming to the point of letting people be where they're at, that one way or another, they're choosing to be where they're at. And some people want to experience that pain and suffering and not come out of it. They truly do. And they play their parts for the ones who want to wake up and come out of it. And that's the truth. And so when we look at it, that everything is playing this divine orchestration for our own good, it's up to us to be learning and growing and learning those lessons, transforming, transcending the energies. And really, as we change, we make a difference because our own reality will be different. And that has a ripple effect that you'll affect others by doing that. And self-reflecting, looking in to, not that life is happening to me, but life is happening for me. What am I gaining from this? What am I learning from this? How, the mind traps that we have gotten ourselves in, that we have to get out of them. And so, and that includes that whole Babylon matrix thing. And yeah, maybe we got sucked in it. Our parents are in it, whatever, but us stepping out of it and going down a new path, it takes a lot of bravery and courage to do that. And if you're doing it, I commend you for it. I do. That stepping away from that takes a lot of courage and bravery and letting things go, detaching. And that is definitely part of the awakening journey, coming to that we all are one. We're all a soul first, experiencing this journey, and everything else is secondary. It's just a human experience, a role that we are playing. Some play a man, some play a woman. You get to play a child for a certain amount of time. Some play doctors, some play whatever it is, mothers, some play, it just goes on. And that's the thing of coming down to that you do have a free will to live life on your own terms. And, sometimes we have to overcome those energies, the fears of what are people going to think of me? And that is definitely a part of the awakening journey. And so keep going, take one day at a time, and be in that boat and just gain. You keep gaining, you get further ahead on your own journey. And are there going to be people left behind because they're not growing? Yeah. If you're doing it, if you're going to put the work in, if you're going to change, and that change begins on the inside, yeah, there are some people who will not be able to go on this journey with you. But as you go along, the right people will find you, And that's the point of really detaching from people, places, and things as well. That this is here for me to serve for me at this time in my life. Like my car, right? I haven't had my car forever. And am I going to have my car forever? No. It's here for me at this time to serve me, right? And there will come a time when I have to let it go. And that is part of the journey and part of the experience. And, if I put out good things, I'll get something better down the road, right? And so it's part of that journey and experience. And so awakening to ourselves, the self-realization, the transformation, our interests change and, our perceptions change, and it might change a few times, and keep on going, and that's the thing of awakening. Some people, they get stuck. They do awaken and see all the chaos and the BS going on in the world, but they kind of get stuck in a new form, like it's a new matrix almost, right? And how do you come out of that? Of everything's bad and against us to life is for me, and changing the game, changing your own game. And nobody can change your game except for you. And so, has it been a wicked game because we're uninformed? Sure. But the thing is that things are changing. And I do truly believe that the ones that are meant to wake up, because we have to understand as well that some souls are not evolved enough or grown enough to go to that next level, and some are here just for that journey and experience. Some of them aren't even evil, right? And they may not be trapped in the bondages or a lot of, fear or whatever, but they're here for the journey and the experience. But they're not truly meant to ascend and go through that. They're just not spiritually at that point, and we have to understand that. But that everybody can play their part. And we have to come to find our own purpose and what is going to fulfill us and make us happy, because that has nothing to do with anyone else. What did I come here to do and experience? And nobody is going to give you those answers but you. You have to search within yourself of being happy where you're at, because one of the rules of the game is there is no better than here. And so, going through the different levels of awakening, and, truly what I have come to find is that it is about being that master over yourself, over your own mind, your own thoughts, and the things that you're saying. Because when you keep on talking about stuff, complaining, your words, your tongue creates your experiences. And so sometimes you got to ride out that storm and go like this, we create that mountain. We do. And so sometimes you just got to go like this and get through that storm and just be like, I chose this for a reason. Let me experience this. Let me change myself and transform, transcend. How about that? Everything's for me. It serves a purpose. And as I go through this year, I'm going to share some of those experiences that I had from last year of making that transition and those changes, that I was going through it for a reason and a purpose, and that everything does serve my highest good. And so the thing is to inner reflect and be that person that you came here to be. that you were before the world told you who to be. And even changing how we deal with other people. And so it is a journey. It's definitely a self journey, finding your true self and loving yourself. And that is definitely part of this awakening journey as well. That it's not about what's going on out there. It's about what's going on in here. And that to me is part of the 5D, is that really that self-realization and knowing that this in here matters more than what's out here, because this out here is an old script. It's an old script playing out. And how old is it? Well, who knows? It could be 2 years old. And I do believe that we can shorten that time down. And that's part of raising our consciousness, is getting to where we can create more instantaneously, right? Calling our energy back to ourselves instead of giving it away to all these other things. Being present, being in the moment, becoming like that child, that straight and narrow road. And to me, that is what a part of the awakening journey has been. And so, is there different levels? That's right. There are different levels. And do some people get stuck in those different levels? They do. And maybe that's part of their purpose and their experience for their soul. And that's where we come with respect. Respecting them. They know what they're doing. And ultimately they do. If they are meant to experience something different, it's on them to do such a thing. And maybe you can be a messenger and say something to them, but if they don't accept it, that's on them. It's not on you. And we have to let that stuff go. That, that control even. That people have to do things my way. People don't have to do things my way. You do things your way and accept you for you. That's part of letting go of the judgments. I used to be concerned about my mother coming over and what she'd think of my home. It was my home. And, ultimately, I was the one who had to let go of that judgment. That, it's my home and I have the freedom to live the way I want to live. And if I want my house a little messy, then I have the free will to live that way. And, sometimes when we're that person that's all clean and neat, which is more me, sometimes we get that learning lesson of letting others be where they're at and loving them unconditionally. That it doesn't matter. That it doesn't matter if they're a messy person or whatever. And so, truly the awakening journey is a huge process and huge journey. And it's a lifelong journey that we get to experience. And so we get to experience this journey. And are we ever going to just have it all, have it there? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's just a part of the experience of it, the journey of it. and finding ourselves. And that's where I'm at, of, finding myself, and that it is part of letting go, going with the flow, and experiencing the journey of it, being present, being in the moment. But we are here for this change. We are here for ascension, of letting go of the baggage, letting go of the government, letting go over people, places, and things ruling over us, taking our ownership over our own realities, over our own experiences here, and creating that peace and unity within us, living in peace, being free of identities, and letting go of old habits and welcoming in new habits, letting go of fear, changing our energy, transforming, transcending those energies. And that is part of the ascension process, loving ourselves, finding ourselves, and truly coming to connect with the spirit that's within us and all around us, and that we do run this game with our thoughts and our wills and our emotions. And so it's up to us to have that new beginning and to create that new world. And that world begins within us, because our world out here is nothing more than our projections pushed out. And so self-awareness. So I'm grateful for this journey. I am grateful for how far I've come and learned and grown. And I'm grateful for anyone who is just learning and growing from me, as expanding their awareness and going on that journey to help create this new world that we are here to create. Because when we do it within ourselves, this out here will change. And the old world, it's crumbling down when we don't give it our energy, our thoughts, our attention. It's going to crumble. And I'm grateful to just be here for this experience of helping to bring in this new world. And anyone who is a part of this with me, and everyone is in their right places, playing their right parts, and truly having that inner wisdom and knowledge. And I'm truly grateful for finding it and searching for it and not getting stuck. So if you want any help with healing and learning, growing, figure out what you need to do on your journey and your path, and you want to have some wisdom and of what you can do, you can go ahead and email me. My links and email will be in the bio. And so enjoy life. Take one day at a time and be that champion today. Enjoy it and just live for today, because today is truly all that even matters or exists. We're going to go ahead and play this song called Never Surrender. I think it's a good fitting one for this one. Don't surrender to that darkness, that fear. Don't surrender to it, and keep going. Keep going. It's all within you, and find that strength within you. So, love you.
Most people don't realize this, but we're not all living in the same reality. We're all walking this earth, but we're living in different dimensions. When you're in the lower dimensions, you believe in a God outside of you. You say things like, "Thank you, Jesus," and "Thank you, God," up there. And that's okay, because that's the level you're at. It's part of the journey. But when you go through a Kundalini awakening, when your spirit truly begins to rise, something shifts. You don't just believe in Christ, you become aware of the Christ within you. You stop thanking something outside of you, and you begin to awaken to the power that was always inside you. Christ consciousness isn't about religion. It's a frequency, a higher awareness. It's when you realize God lives in you. You see, people argue because they live in different dimensions, and they don't understand each other. Some still live in the 3D where everything is fear, control, separation. You're over here trying to speak light, truth, oneness, and they look at you like you're crazy. That's because you're not speaking the same language of consciousness. When you awaken, you rise. You begin to see the world through God's eyes, not man's. And that's why we say not everyone will get you. Not everyone is supposed to, because not everyone has risen yet. But your job is not to prove it, your job is to live it. Let your vibration speak louder than your voice. Thank you for following us at Awakening the Empaths, where truth is spoken without fear.
Take on the night to reach the morning. Oh, oh, we'll write our names in blood and glory. Oh, 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 our hearts are unafraid of making our own fate, and we don't need to wait. We're a phoenix rising from the ashes, fighting our courage climbing. We'll never, never surrender. This is our battle. Won't stay in the shadows now. Living for tomorrow. We'll never, never surrender. Walking through fire will leave us stronger. Oh, oh, and we might grow tired, but not going under. No, no. Breaking all the chains. It's time to take our place. It's time to take our place. We're a phoenix rising from the ashes, fighting our courage climbing. We'll never, never surrender. This is our battle. Won't stay in the shadows now. Living for tomorrow. We'll never, never surrender. Breaking all the chains. It's time to take our place. Time to take our place. Oh, our hearts are unafraid of making our own fate. Of making our own fate. We're a phoenix rising from the ashes, fighting our courage climbing. We'll never, never surrender. This is our battle. Won't stay in the shadows now. Living for tomorrow. We'll never, never surrender.
You ain't got a chance. Trying to go to war with the champ. Trying to go back, but you can't. Now it's only one king, I'm the man. Anybody wanna step to the plate? Better go and get one thing straight. I don't freeze and I won't hesitate. Matter of fact, y'all been running in place, can't run from your fate. Who's gonna stop me? 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 Yeah, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? So electrical, charged up, shocking every second like a billion volts. Now we hyperactive, you don't want no static. I was born for battle, finger on the pulse. Y'all paper plastic while I go Jurassic. So far from average, running with the raptors like a slay Goliath, steady moving silent. So in other words, I am the boss. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? I am the boss. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Yeah, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? I just look at the world, such a sight to behold. Most of the stories will never get told. Been on my own for so long, I don't know what else to do, pray I don't lose my soul. Walking through fire till I'm numb to the coast. Coming for everything, diamonds and gold. Nothing to lose, all in my control. And I'm about to go savage, so don't say I won't. And I'm destined for greatness. Ain't no fabrication, ain't no time for waiting. Super fundamental, I can see them hating. Ain't a scrimmage, steady winning. I ain't quitting from the start to finish. Been in motion, this is physics. Never slowing, never getting with it. I ain't quitting from the start to finish. And I gotta wonder, really fine slipping in. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me?